Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. One of our favorite guests is here today.
That's right. We're talking pets later this hour with Sandy Sawchuk from the UW School of Veterinary Medicine. She'll be taking your calls in just a little while.
We'll let you know when to call in.
Yes.
But first, here's what's making news on this Thursday. The Speaker of the House says he is opposed by the effort by House conservatives to impeach Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein.
Two Janesville men, are in jail after driving up to people and threatening a couple, saying that they were armed.
And gone. The last pieces of the Ella's Deli are auctioned off.
Boy, that is really the end of an era.
It really is.
We should have gotten something for the weather patio. Maybe not something quite that big.
I think a little carousel would be fine.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
Boy, the weather today.
Yeah, beautiful.
Open the windows.
I know there's a crispness in the air today. It feels great. Let's take a look outside today and plenty of sunshine. That's such a beautiful shot on the Capitol Square.
It really is. But the weather words, feeling like fall. Chris Reese is in the backyard weather patio for the end of July, the first part of August. This is quite unusual.
This is, and I'll tell you what, I'd love a carousel out here. I'd have a lot of fun giving you the weather in this patio. I already do, and it really does feel like fall. A true confession from yesterday. I had s'mores and a campfire going, so it's one of those situations where you add in the weather today and that fall fever is about to get started. 73 degrees is as warm as we got here in Madison today. Some places over to the west did get a little bit warmer, but check out Viroqua. They stayed in the 60s for those highs so far today. 81 is where we should be. So we really did see those temperatures staying well below average for this time of the year. Temperatures still in the 60s and 70s as of now. In fact, our high temperature in Madison we are hitting right now at this very hour. Now we've watched the cloud cover increase as we've gone through the afternoon. These are clouds moving in under northwesterly flow behind that cold front that moved through yesterday. There have been some showers and thunderstorms, mainly well to the north, across the North Woods, and we're watching these move their way to the south because there is a chance for us to see some of those showers for us here, especially as we go into the evening and early nighttime hours. Here's the Beltline at Rimrock. Traffic is moving, so that's good news. We'll see that volume continue to increase, and of course those slowdowns are starting to show up on the Beltline. They will be increasing as we go through the next couple hours. University Boulevard has some slowdowns headed into town, oddly enough, and of course a few brake lights showing up downtown as well. But across Dane County, most of those interstates and county road highways are moving smoothly at this hour. Traffic moving at its posted speeds with no crashes or major delays. Guys?
All right, not bad. We'll keep an eye on the traffic, and we'll check back in a few minutes.
All right,
thanks, Chris.
good.
Thank you so much, Chris. First at 4, a group of conservative lawmakers has introduced a resolution calling for the impeachment of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein.
But it is not getting the support of the Speaker of the House. Molangi has details from Capitol Hill.
A group of conservative lawmakers is calling for the impeachment of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. He's overseeing Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
It's in his court to decide whether he is going to actually comply with a valid subpoena where we rightfully have the ability to do oversight.
House Freedom Caucus members Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan, along with 9 others, are spearheading the impeachment effort. They say Rosenstein has conflicts of interest with the probe, and they accuse him of intentionally withholding documents in the Russia investigation and the closed Hillary Clinton email investigation.
We'll either get the documents that we're entitled to and the American people are entitled to, or there will be some type of action the first week back in September.
The Justice Department has handed over more than 800,000 documents. Democrats call this nothing more than an attack on the Mueller investigation.
This really has nothing to do with oversight. This has everything to do, as Rudy Giuliani has made clear, with getting the documents to the president's allies in Congress so Giuliani can get his hands on them.
House Republican leaders have distanced themselves from the impeachment calls.
Do I support impeachment of Rod Rosenstein? No, I do not. I don't think that this rises to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors, a really high standard.
Making it unlikely there will be a vote on the resolution, and even less likely it will pass if there is. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And the House members have left Capitol Hill for a 5-week recess. They'll be back to work in September.
President Trump visited the Midwest today to meet with business leaders to talk about trade and tariffs. He visited the Northeast Community College in Dubuque this morning, touring an advanced manufacturing lab with his daughter Ivanka. Later, at a roundtable discussion, the president said he wanted to reassure farmers and steel workers that he stands with them. The president then headed to St. Louis. 2 Janesville men are under arrest today after using a weapon to threaten a couple last night.
The 2 are now facing multiple charges. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with the latest. Adam.
Last night, 2 women called Janesville police after a car pulled up to them, showed them what they thought to be a weapon, and told them that they were armed. The 2 men were later identified as Yaniel Manuel Perez and Isaiah Ree Gladney, and they were stopped by police today, who found multiple BB guns and airsoft guns in the backseat of their car. Police say it does not matter whether the 2 used a real gun or not.
See someone at a distance, whether it's 5, 10 feet looking inside the vehicle, you know, they're seeing something that looks like it's a real gun. And it doesn't take much through minor modifications on these to actually have someone think or make it look like it's a real gun.
Police also found marijuana in the car. Now, this investigation is still ongoing, and there is no court date set quite yet.
All right, Adam Duxter in our Rock County Bureau. Thank you, Adam.
Milwaukee police have identified the officer killed in a shooting Wednesday evening. Michael Mikowski was a 17-year veteran officer who was killed on duty. A suspect is in custody. He is 30-year-old Jonathan Copeland Jr., who has an extensive criminal history, including drug and gun violations. Officers from the Special Investigations Unit were searching for Copeland when they encountered him at a home, and he opened fire on the officers. Chief Alfonso Morales said Copeland was arrested after he ran out of ammunition, firing at police. The chief also said that the fallen officer was loved by everyone at the department.
He is the person that you would want to cut out a cookie cut and say, this is what we want the Milwaukee Police Department to represent. He's the person that if you were going to the door and wanted cooperation or wanted people to talk to you, you would send Officer Michalski.
Officer Michalski was 52 years old and leaves behind his wife and 3 sons.
A small homemade bomb exploded outside of the U.S. Embassy in Beijing. Police say the only person who was hurt was the bomber, a 26-year-old man from Inner Mongolia who detonated a homemade bomb made of fireworks. The U.S. Embassy released a statement saying the building was not damaged, but that security will be heightened. Police have not released a motive. California Governor Jerry Brown has declared a state of emergency as dangerous wildfires continue to burn. East of Los Angeles, a massive blaze that has destroyed homes and burned nearly 5,000 acres appears to have been intentionally set. The Cranston fire has consumed everything in its path. Police arrested a man accused of intentionally starting the fire. Josh Whitney's entire lumber mill business is in ashes.
I've been here 30 years. I'm going to protect my house.
This is devastating seeing everything go like this.
Record-breaking heat in the western part of the country is helping fuel wildfires. Right now, thousands of firefighters are battling at least 60 large fires across 15 states. The largest, the Ferguson fire, has forced portions of Yosemite National Park to close. The Sun Prairie Fire Department is getting new equipment to help with gas emergencies. The department is using a $15,000 donation from Pick and Save to buy a new gas detection device. The donation comes after this month's deadly gas explosion in downtown Sun Prairie. The new device will use lasers to determine if an area is safe or not.
It'll give you an immediate feedback. The laser beam, like I said, goes through a window up to 100 feet away, and it'll give you an instant reading whether the environment is safe or if there's a hazard inside.
Firefighters are expected to participate in a demonstration of this laser tool in a couple of weeks. Well, the final items at Madison's historic Ella's Deli are being auctioned off today. And many area residents were hoping to bring home some memories from the now closed restaurant. Eric Franke has the details in our news center. Eric?
Mark and Susan, everything from an old-fashioned custard machine to the letters on the outside of the iconic Ella's Deli are being auctioned off today. Even a mini carousel was up for auction. Badger Corporation Auction running the show there, and we're told they have been overwhelmed by the interest. Sure, there are restaurant people there looking for a deal or two, but this little place meant so much to people in the neighborhood, the area. Many just wanted something to help them remember Ella's.
We've had such a positive reaction from the community always about Ella's, and when we announced the closing, it really drove home how much we meant to people. And we're glad to have another opportunity to have people visit us and see us. Chocolate Chop ice cream's here. Everyone can come and have an ice cream. So we're happy to have this opportunity.
Mini carousel, different than the one that was purchased by Epic and moved out to Verona earlier this month. This one, a smaller one. It was from the 1930s or 40s, still in excellent working condition. The owners bought it when they thought they'd expand Ella's years ago. Now, if you're interested perhaps in bidding or simply perusing the items up for auction in Ella's Deli, we have a link provided at channel3000.com. Mark and Susan?
Boy, it is a place that means so much to
So
people.
much to that,
Yes.
especially that neighborhood, too.
I think your boys will like that carousel area.
I think it's already gone.
Right.
We're waiting to get the total on how much they got for it, and we'll update that when we can.
Okay. Thank you, Eric.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eric. Still to come at 4, Facebook has the worst day in stock market history, and Milwaukee Bucks fans can't wait to head to the Fiserv Forum.
What? The Fiserv Forum?
Yeah, I'll say that 10 times
The
fast.
story behind the company that just bought the naming rights to the new home of the Milwaukee Bucks. That's when Live at 4 continues. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks' new $525 million arena now has a name.
It will be called Fiserv Forum. Fiserv is a little-known hometown company listed on the NASDAQ that signed a 25-year agreement with the Bucks for the naming rights for the nearly completed Wisconsin Entertainment and Sports Complex in downtown Milwaukee, which opens next month. Fiserv is based in the Milwaukee suburb of Brookfield and has been listed on the NASDAQ for more than 30 years. It's a member of the Fortune 500 and provides technology for banks and merchants to move their money around.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it's a little tongue twister, a little bit.
Facebook is suffering a major financial blow after months of punishing headlines about privacy and content concerns. Its stock plunged up to 24% in after-hours trading Wednesday, wiping out as much as $150 billion of the social media giant's market value in under 2 hours. The loss, as CBS News contributor Nicholas Thompson put it, is larger than the entire size of McDonald's. The stock drop comes after Facebook announced its second quarter revenue missed Wall Street analysts' expectations by about $130 million, and growth in the number of active users is slowing down. Facebook is traded on the NASDAQ, which took a hit today. The Dow Industrials were up 112 points, though, to close at 25,527. The NASDAQ Composite Index lost 80, thanks to Facebook, and the S&P 500 was off 8.5. Well, it is almost the weekend in the 608.
Madison Magazine's Joel Patnout is here, filling in for Emmy Fink with a look at what's going on in the area. Hi, Joel.
Hi, Joel.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, thanks.
And we're going to start with a much-loved community festival.
Exactly, Atwood Fest. Shuts down Atwood Avenue on the Erie side to motor vehicle traffic, and then opens up to lovers of music and good food. And it's got a real local music focus. There are 3 stages, one on each end of of Atwood, and a kid stage as well. Saturday, you can catch Kelsey Miles Band, the Amphibians, VO5. Sunday, I would say the highlights might be Steely Dan, Natty Nation. I'm thinking I'm leaving somebody out, but AtwoodFest.com, you can see the whole lineup.
Lots of food and get that Atwood Avenue flavor.
Exactly.
All right, a couple of local theater productions going on.
Exactly. Let's start with the one for adults, especially adults who are fans of Shakespeare and fans of adult beverages. Saturday night in the Capitol Brewery Beer Garden in Middleton, the Madison Shakespeare Company will put on the first performance of its second installment of Sloshed Shakespeare, this time Antony and Cleopatra. Like last summer, they did Macbeth, and this was with the actors drinking throughout the production, which adds a little comedic effect. They flub lines, they maybe draw out the death scenes, but it's something they're doing now again because it was so popular. There are also productions that they're putting on next month at Brink Lounge and High Noon Saloon.
Sloshed Shakespeare, that's funny.
But something a little more sober.
Yeah. More family friendly.
Exactly. And there is one. It's pretty ambitious. It's called the 24-Hour Musical. So the first rehearsal on Friday, well, between that and the Saturday performance, is all the time that these teens and college-age kids have to put on a full-length musical. They don't know which one it is. They won't even know the cast or the crew until tomorrow night. So it adds a lot of fun. I mean, even the audience doesn't know if it's going to be Camelot or The Music Man or what have you. But it's put on by the aptly named Madtown Show in a Day.
What a great idea.
Well, it is a great idea.
It's sort of like that 48-hour film festival, except musicals for kids.
Exactly.
All right. And Broadway's back in town.
Yes, that's the other musical theater this weekend, but you'll go in knowing what you're going to get. The Waitress is touring. It opened last night at the Overture Center. They've got 6 more performances between tonight and Sunday night. It's about a waitress in a small town who channels her unhappiness with her marriage into a pie baking contest. It's pretty well known and much reviewed, or well reviewed, because of the music, which Grammy-nominated Sarah Bareilles wrote. And so that should be a good one as well.
And there's 2 little local girls that are in the production at the end. They were on the program last week.
We had a chance to meet them last week. They do that in every city that the show goes
that's
to.
Great.
They audition local girls to play Lulu, the daughter. Yeah, it's a great
fantastic.
idea.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
So there's another reason to go.
Cool.
Joel, good stuff going on.
Good to see you, Joel. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Get this month's Madison Magazine for all the best in the Madison area.
Still to come, some people take pictures on vacation.
We'll meet a man who takes his knitting needles with him.
This knitter turns landmarks like Camden Yards here into sweaters like the one he's wearing. I'm Wei Zhang in Baltimore with how a unique hobby made him an internet sensation.
Take a look at this. A New Jersey father's video of him dancing to celebrate his baby son being released from Children's Hospital in Philadelphia after being diagnosed with leukemia has gone viral. Kenneth Thomas uploaded a video of himself dancing in the hospital to singer Sierra's song, Level Up. His son watches, claps along. Sierra, who's been encouraging fans to upload videos of their own dances to their song, tweeted the Thomas video saying, "God is so good. We're dancing for you too, Angel."
Oh, so that hair is so priceless. Oh, that's so sweet.
Going home. That's good. That's good, Dad.
Yeah.
It is Thursday, July 26th. It's National Aunt and Uncle's Day. You're not either.
No.
Are you an uncle?
Nope, not yet.
You are.
Yeah, I don't know how many times over.
Yeah, a couple times
There's a lot
over.
of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
It is National Interns Day. Boy, I wish our intern was here today. We've got a couple of interns that we're celebrating, even though they're not working today.
Yeah, he's off.
Yeah.
They're off celebrating.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years ago, I was an intern somewhere.
Well,
it's funny how time flies.
Happy Intern Day.
Not anymore, but you know what? It's the real deal. Now I'm actually forecasting the weather, which has been a little bit of a challenge for the past couple of days, but it gets easier, especially as you go into the weekend. High pressure means things are going to feel pretty good, but we are tracking some showers later on today. I've got your full forecast coming out when we come back.
All right, sounds good. We'll be right back.
It's been one of those days that just reminds you of the cooler time of the year, such as fall. But oddly enough, this morning, we saw those low temperatures that were a bit on the mild side, low 60s for a lot of us. And then as you work your way back to the north and west, where that cold front had already moved through, that's where we saw morning lows that were into the 50s. Now, we did top out right around 73 here in Madison. Most folks did top out into the lower 70s. Viroqua was the cool spot, topping out at 69 degrees. That is where a lot of us will sit right now. But get this, below average by a long shot. In fact, we're talking several degrees below average. Normally, we top out right around 81 for this time of the year. Right now, we do sit at 73 with the winds out of the north and northwest at 12 miles per hour. So it is very breezy as you do step out, but those temperatures are substantially cooler than this time yesterday, anywhere between 5 degrees, 8 degrees here in Madison. Back to the north and west, you're 15 and 16 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Dew points are also much lower. Instead of being in the 60s, we see dew points that are in the 50s. So this is why that air doesn't feel all that humid and actually feels kind of dry as you step out. We're going to keep those dew points low as we go through the next 12 hours as well. Really, we're keeping those dew points low through the next several days. That's because we have these strong winds coming in from the north and the northwest, keeping that dry air getting pumped on into here. But that's also been moving in some of that cloud cover we've seen. So we saw the sunshine earlier this morning. Now more cloud cover filtering in, and we've watched that cloud cover thicken up as we've gone through the day. Here's how that played out on Visible Cloud Track. We started out with no real cloud cover around here this morning, but then we really just saw that kind of move in like a blanket, especially as we got you into the afternoon and evening. We are tracking some showers with this. Most of this is mainly across the North Woods right now, south of Rylander, over towards Wausau and around Eau Claire. There hasn't been any lightning or thunder, so we're not really concerned about thunderstorms. But as this moves its way to the south in coming hours, we may see some more showers play out from time to time. Not everyone will get in on any of that shower activity, though. For the most part, we will be dry with cloud cover and temperatures in the 60s through the overnight and evening hours, cooling down into the mid-50s overnight and into your Friday morning. Now, by the time we get you into the day on Friday, it'll be kind of a similar setup with that northwesterly flow. But this time, most of those showers, if any, will be to the east of us, more so confined towards the lake shore. But this region of low pressure sending that northwesterly flow around, that's gradually working its way on to the east. High pressure back to the west begins to take over. That's going to mean more sunshine, especially as we head you Friday and into your Saturday. Clouds will begin to increase, though, into Saturday afternoon and night. That could lead us to our next chance for rain going into Sunday. But temperatures will still stay on the lower side. We don't get out of 73 into tomorrow as well. 70 staying the name of the game Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We do have a shot at 80 on Wednesday, but get this. That's a roller coaster ride. That is a warm-up ahead of a massive temperature drop as we go towards next Thursday, where we'll have a day struggling to get out of the 60s. So several interesting days coming up in our forecast. Tonight, 56 degrees, partly cloudy. We will be substantially cooler. Headed into tomorrow, 73 degrees once again. And I want to reiterate, any shower chance, that's going to be mainly confined along the lakeshore. We shouldn't have to deal with any showers for us here in the Madison area. But of course, we do stay cool and temperatures staying in the 70s through the weekend. A slight chance of a shower late Saturday into Sunday. Better rain chances come in Sunday and Monday. Another break on Tuesday before additional rain chances. But we are staying fairly cool. There are only 2 days with 80s in that entire 10-day forecast.
Wow, that's unusual for this time of year.
I don't like the heat, but I'm not ready to give up summer yet.
I don't think I am either, because it felt good yesterday. It was hot, it was a little humid, but it didn't feel too bad. Now you're getting to a point where I'm like, okay.
Well, we still have all of August to get through.
Yeah, we do, and we can't necessarily say that summer's over yet. The only thing that shows me that summer's over, other than the temperatures, I did see a tree that was completely bright orange with losing its leaves. That kind of scared me a little bit, but it's just one.
That might have been
another
issue.
We'll find out. I have a picture of it.
All right, we do have a correction to make. It's intern day, and our intern is working today. Lou, there he is.
Hi, Chris.
There's Chris. Chris Lundberg. He's hard at work. He's a sharp guy.
Yes, our interns work very hard. Sorry about that, Chris. We've got to give you a shout out once we figured out you are in the newsroom.
Hard at work, doing something. All right. Happy intern day. All right, a knitter from Maryland with a knack for depicting landmarks has turned an offbeat hobby into an internet sensation.
Weijia Jiang introduces us to the man behind a one-of-a-kind sweater line that's taking him around the world.
For almost 2 decades, Sam Barsky has turned landmarks like Camden Yards into wearable works of art.
If I go to a place, I have to wear the sweater of that place there.
He has the photos to prove it.
I've done the Golden Gate Bridge, Times Square, Stonehenge.
Over 120 sweaters so far.
I realized at one point, I thought, this is what I want to do with my life. This is what I enjoy doing.
And as his pile of sweaters grows, so does the number of his Facebook followers, almost 50,000. On a visit to Hollywood last year, Barsky attracted a crowd.
I knew one day I wanted to do something really big with this. I didn't know it would come in the form of being a media sensation.
Sam Barsky at Hamden's Lovely.
His friends get a thrill when they see him too on television.
You are so cool. You aren't nervous or anything.
Knitters like Naomi Weiner appreciate details in Barsky's work a non-knitter might miss.
The ability to visualize what he's doing without any pattern, without any notes, but just to be able to have it in his head and translate it into a sweater is phenomenal.
He once knit a matching dress for his wife, even a sweater of all his sweaters.
Do you ever wear something that's not a sweater?
I don't own anything that's not a sweater.
Knitting his way to new places, one stitch at a time. Weijia Jiang for WISC News 3.
And Barsky still has a long list of landmarks he'd like to visit, wearing sweaters to match.
He hopes also to publish a book. If you'd like to see more of Barsky's creation, visit his website. It's easy to remember. It's sambarsky.com.
Interesting hobby. We are talking pets next at 4.
Sandy Sawchuk from the UW School of Veterinary Medicine is here. Is she in the green room? There she is. Sandy will take your calls when Live at 4 continues. If you want to talk to Sandy, the number to call, 270-9933. Call now and we'll be right back. There's a live look downtown, a little cloudy on this Thursday afternoon, cool today as well. UW veterinarian Sandy Sawchuk is here today. We're taking your calls at 270-9933.
Good to see you, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Nice to be here.
An interesting study came out this week that showed that dogs are so sensitive to their owners that if the owner is crying or upset, the dog will come to him to comfort you.
Yeah, and I think we all, as pet owners, can recognize things that your dog picks up on very easily. I know my dog knows the difference between a work day on Thursday and Saturday, and part of it is the alarm going off, or it may be, you know, what I'm wearing. There's a number of things like that that really they are, I mean, they have nothing else to do but sit around and watch us. And so they're really capable of picking up on cues. And so your emotional cues too would be something that the dog could pick up on. When you're happy, the dog's probably going to be more playful. When you're sad, you know, the dog will be there hopefully to comfort you.
Do you think they'd actually would try to comfort you?
Well, I think that, you know, I would like to think that that's why my dogs would like to come up and sit next to me. Not that I'm sad very often, but, you know, I think that it just goes to show you that they are man's best friend and woman's best friend. Yeah.
And as to watching you, when I get dressed in the morning, Louie, the puppy, he watches what shoes I put on.
Yeah.
If I put on tennis shoes, we're going for a walk. Putting on my dress shoes,
it means he's staying home. Yes, right.
All right, we're going to get to the calls, 270-9933, right after the break. Stay on the line, please.
It's that time. We are watching the Beltline begin to really pick up in that traffic volume and those speeds really beginning to slow down. Here's the Beltline at Rimrock right now. Traffic crawling along right now. We do have one accident to report. That one's going to be downtown at Park Street and West Washington there. There's the road closed going northbound from 151 and Washington Avenue over towards Chandler Street. So if you do drive in this part of downtown, do be prepared for some traffic delays. Elsewhere near Capitol Square, no major delays showing up, but of course we do have some delays on Regent Street as well, especially as you begin to approach the Washington Street area. The Beltline moving at speeds generally between 25 and 30 miles per hour or so. So it's moving a little bit faster than it did at this time yesterday. Across Dane County, the interstates do continue to move along smoothly. That is good news. Going eastbound John Nolan to the interstate, that's taking you about 6 minutes at this hour. Westbound John Nolan to Verona, that's going to take you about 8 minutes. And then University to the interstate, that's taking you just shy of half an hour at this time. Other slowdowns eastbound Verona Road to John Nolan, that's taking you just under 15 minutes to go at this time. To pack your patience if you are getting ready to head home, and just know it is that everyday afternoon rush hour. Guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. If you're headed to the EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh this weekend, keep an eye out for this guy. Air show legend Sean Tucker has been doing stunts at air shows for over 40 years, and this is his final season as a solo performer. He may make his performances look like he's spiraling out of control, but he's very much in control. He's done more than 1,300 performances since 1976. His solo appearance this weekend in Oshkosh will be his last. He is not retiring, though. He's going to lead a team from here on out.
Wow, that's something to see.
It's fun to watch. All right, Sandy Sawchuk, UW veterinarian, is taking your calls at 270-9933, and we will start with Jill in Madison. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
Well, I have a 7-month-old dog, and I've actually had her for about a month, but she wants to attack you. I mean, she'll be kind of playing with a toy, and next, like, she just kind of bounces on you and just, she's like my stomach, my arm. She'll grab my clothes and put holes in them.
Oh, my goodness.
What breed is she?
Yeah. A lab mix.
A lab mix, yeah. You know, when we see dogs that are aggressive, it really is important that you get to the bottom of this and get a diagnosis, because there are many, many causes for this. It could just be that your dog is overstimulated and you just need to keep, redirect to the appropriate things for them to chew on. But it also could be that she is maybe object possessive, that this is my toy, she doesn't want you to come near it. So lots of reasons, but those multiple bites, especially if she's causing injury, tearing clothing, causing injury, oh my goodness, I really would recommend that you work with, your veterinarian to make sure that your dog doesn't have anything medically wrong with it. Could be hormonal changes, pain, that type of thing. And then also work with an applied animal behaviorist to be able to get to the bottom of what could be causing this, because you've only had the dog a month, and this is just going to get worse before it gets better.
7 months are still, those are adult teeth at this point, right? The baby teeth are gone?
The baby teeth should be gone, but, and so that's where it could just be that this is just a dog that doesn't know how to play appropriately, and by learning how to play appropriately, redirecting to the right things, it may be able to help this dog.
But you got to get to the bottom of it and figure it out.
Now.
Right.
Okay, let's go to Bill in Nishkoro. Hi, Bill, what's your question?
Hi, I have a 6-year-old female golden retriever, and I have the Sergeant's liquid flea and tick repellent on her. And then my veterinarian wants me to bring her in for a Lyme disease vaccination. And from what I understand and read on the Lyme disease vaccination is it doesn't last really long. And a lot of veterinarian schools don't even prefer that you vaccinate your dog with the Lyme disease vaccination. So
yeah,
it's kind of controversial on which way I should go or not go.
Right. The way I look at it is we live in Lyme Central because we live with ticks everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, city, town, out in the country, makes no difference. Ticks are there. In fact, I ended up with one of the Lone Star ticks, which is a new invasive tick, on myself. I live in Janesville, and just in my backyard, ended up picking up a tick. So practice tick control. Use an effective product recommended by your veterinarian every month, 12 months out of the year, because ticks are around every month of the year. Even in January, they come out. And then the other thing that we'd want to do is assess your dog's lifestyle. If they're out in the woods a lot, out in fields a lot, lots of potential tick exposure, no tick control agent is 100% effective. And I do recommend that patients that fit that lifestyle be vaccinated for Lyme disease. There's a really good calculator that you can go on the American Animal Hospital Association's website, and they have a lifestyle risk thing that you can take with you for you and your dog to be able to see what vaccines your dog needs. And you may find out that living in Wisconsin, they're going to recommend Lyme vaccine.
If you're out in the country and the dog's out in the field a lot.
Even if you're in the town, if they're out in the field a lot. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Jill now in Portage. Hi, Jill. What's your question?
Hi. I've got a 3-year-old dog. It's short hair, and it sheds constantly. And just about every day I have to vacuum and empty the vacuum out because that's how much hair.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a lot of...
Yeah. You know, I have 3 short-haired dogs, and my home is pretty much the same. Yeah. And so if your dog is on a good nutrition, balanced diet, has nothing medically wrong with it, isn't hypothyroid, isn't having any patchy hair loss, it's just the normal shedding, the best thing you can do is just keep on top of it with lots of brushing and keeping your vacuum out. It's even short-haired dogs shed, and sometimes those hairs are worse than long hairs because they get woven into fabric a little bit easier and they're harder to pick up.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Kay in Verona. Hi, Kay. What's your question?
Yes, I have a 14-year-old cat that suddenly started, well, she's been pooping and peeing out of the box for a long time, and now she has diarrhea. And today there was blood in the stools. I do have an appointment with the vet. Is there anything I should be thinking about and be aware of?
Well, I would be strongly recommending that you, when you go into your vet clinic, make sure that you have the cat with a full bladder so that they can get a urine sample and be prepared to have some blood work done as well. A head-to-toe physical exam to make sure that they don't palpate or find anything wrong is going to be indicated too. Also, bring in a stool sample if you can, because even though if your 14-year-old cat's an indoor cat, parasites are low risk, but it's still something that we'd want to evaluate. I mean, 14 years old, it could be anything from something as simple as parasites to badness like cancer and things like that. But I think
she's going to the vet. That's good stuff.
I'm very glad that she's taking this kitty to the vet.
All right, Dennis in Lake Delton. Hi, Dennis. What's your question?
Hello. I have a 13-year-old cat. She used to use the litter box, but now she won't use it. I have to put down a dog training pad. Is there any way to get her to use the box again?
Yeah, being 15 years old, I'd really worry about medical problems. Things like kidney disease and hyperthyroidism where they physically can't get to the litter box. Even arthritis can cause cats to have that. A litter box for every cat in the household +1, so you have easy access to it. Keeping it clean is important, but this is another case where medical evaluation is indicated. Just like the last owner, urine and blood needs to be checked.
They want to use the box. I mean,
they do.
Instinctively.
Yes,
All
but
right.
they may have some phobia about it because it hurts or they just can't get to it.
All right. We're out of time. Thank you for everyone for calling in. Sandy, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Sandy. Great to see you.
See you soon, and we'll be right back with a final check your forecast. I like this weather.
It's fantastic.
It's refreshing.
Refreshing, yeah.
I think that's the perfect word for it. I'm enjoying it. You know, being from Texas, I like it when it's cooler. Don't know why that's the way it is, but that's how I like it. So we've got some spectacular weather out there right now. Take a chance to get outside. There are some showers across the Northwoods working their way south and east. Therefore, I can't rule out that chance of an isolated shower or two later on into our evening. But we're going to be cool and breezy outside of those. Temperatures falling from 71 to 62 by about midnight. By tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures that are into the mid-50s before another beautiful day on Friday as well.
Might have to close the windows. Too cold. It can't please me around here. Chris, thank you.
Thanks,
Looking
Chris.
good.
My pleasure.
Tomorrow here on Live at 4, our Michael Bruno goes backstage at the Bartell Theater for a look at the play Diamond Girl.
And Lola with intern Louie will check out the top animal stories of the week in Lola's Lowdown. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's final touch, mud, glorious mud, and nothing quite like it for cooling the blood.
That's very nice. That was the theme for